Hello. Thank you for joining us again. I'm Maggie Darcy with the Central OHI. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, OHI is the acronym for the Oklahoma Healthy Aging Initiative. We are a grant-funded program. We're funded by the Donald W. Reynolds Foundation, and we're located here on the OU Health Science Center campus in the Donald W. Department of Geriatric Medicine. So, as you know, this is the 10th in the video conference series that we've had in 2016. This is our final video conference for this year, and these have been recorded and are located on our ohi.org website. So if you would like to tap into some of our earlier video conferences from this year, please do that. It's ohai.org to access that information. And of course, today you're here to learn healthy tips for getting through or surviving the holidays. Of course, we all know the holidays are the most stressful time of the year for the majority of the population. And one of the things we like to do at OHI is empower people to be able to maintain better health, mental or physical health. So today we're going to have a program that is the introductory session for the Healthy Brain, Healthy Mind workshop. It's typically a workshop that has 4 in the series, but this is the introductory session. You will be learning a dozen or so tips on how to handle all kinds of different stress and anxiety that come along with everyday life, in addition to just the holidays. So at the end of the program, I'll explain to you a few other programs that we have at OHI, including a dozen or so different wellness programs that we can bring to you at your location. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our most fantastic education specialist. Her name is Kelli Bruemmer, and she's going to present to you mental tips for the holidays with Healthy Brain, Healthy Mind. Take it away, Kelli.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to present this information to you today. And like Maggie said, sometimes the holiday season can be the most stressful time of year for a lot of people. It can bring a lot of joy and fun, but it can also cause some stress and maybe some depression too. So I certainly hope that you're able to take some of today's information and apply it to your everyday life, especially as we're moving into this 2016 holiday season. The American Psychological Association outlines 12 pathways that we can focus on to strengthen our brain and our mind. And in today's overview of the Healthy Brain, Healthy Mind program, we're going to briefly go over those 12 pathways. Before we dive in, I want to point out this diagram of a wagon wheel. It is not perfect. So it has 12 spokes though. And if you have a pen and paper handy, I really encourage you guys to draw yourself a wagon wheel. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine's not, but it needs to have 12 spokes. So I'm going to give you just a second to get this done. Mine's a little lopsided. All right, so I'm going to use this drawing as we move through the 12 pathways. So stay tuned for its relevance. This is going to make a lot of sense here in a little bit. I also want to point out that some of the 12 pathways we're going to talk about today might seem very, very familiar to you, and some of them might not. I've never met anybody that's great at all 12, so give yourself a little bit of credit, cut yourself some slack. You're going to recognize some things you're probably already doing every day, and some things maybe you want to work on a little bit. No worries. So the first pathway to a healthy brain and mind is our diet. Okay, we like to get it out there, let's talk about it, and move on. The nutritional value of the food that we eat feeds our entire system, including our blood, which nourishes our brain and our mind. Think about the food you eat like gasoline for a car. If you put bad gas in your car, it's still going to run, just maybe not very well, maybe not very efficiently, but it's still going to run for you, for a little while at least. The same thing applies to your brain. If you put good fuel in, you'll get good output. Okay, it'll work much more efficiently, much better for you. So keep this one in mind, especially as we're moving into the holiday season and everybody's got all kinds of goodies just everywhere at the office, goodies at home, goodies at family gatherings, goodies on Christmas Eve. So first and foremost, we're going to put healthy diet on our wheel. So if you've drawn yourself a wagon wheel, I want you to pick one of these sections and write healthy diet in one of the sections. The second pathway is getting proper amounts of rest, which occurs from practicing good sleep hygiene and good sleep habits. Now, sleep hygiene is a term you might not be as familiar with, so I'm going to explain a little bit. Sleep hygiene is developing a bedtime regimen that allows your body to prepare for rest, okay? So think about your bedtime regimen. You know, little kids have a bedtime routine: bath, brush your teeth, bedtime story, go to bed. Adults need the same thing. They need that bedtime routine. Your body will start to recognize your routine and start preparing itself for rest, okay? Your sleep hygiene regimen needs to include staying away from caffeine, including chocolate. I'm sorry, you have to stay away from caffeine, including chocolate, at least a few hours before bed. And practice turning off all electronics, including your iPad, including your phone, including your TV, at least 90 minutes before bed. And I know that is so hard to even fathom for some people. But if that sounds totally impossible, start small, okay? Start small, start turning it off 30 minutes before bed, 20 minutes before bed, and work your way up to 90. So, nothing's impossible. Let's put sleep hygiene on our wheel. All right. The third pathway is being active and engaging in pleasant events. And this can be different for each person. For example, I really enjoy taking my daughter to the zoo or walking out to the chicken coop and gathering our eggs for the day. Some of my neighbors like to garden. They have a huge vegetable garden and they're out there every day tending their garden. Some of my other neighbors just enjoy visiting with friends on their front porch. Every day I drive past, they've got different people on the front porch they're just sitting around drinking coffee with. What do you enjoy doing that includes being active? Do you like museums or the library? Maybe shopping, maybe family gatherings, having friends over for TV watching, movie nights. If you don't have something that you like to do that includes some physical activity, why not? Come up with something that you can do. I'm going to add being active to one of the sections in our wheel. All right, filling our wheel up. All right, the fourth pathway is connecting with others and building a social network. So can you see how the third and the fourth pathway might be combined? Being active and building your social network could be combined into a single activity. Are you part of a social organization or a church group or a travel club? Do you have weekly or monthly gatherings with friends or family? If so, you're already doing this. You're already doing something that's critical to the health of your brain and your mind. If you'd always rather stay home and stay by yourself, try to branch out and accept some of those invitations from friends and family. Get out, connect with others, build your social network. We're not talking about social network that's an app on your phone. We're talking about getting out and building your actual social network. So I'm going to put connect with others on the wheel. So if you're doing the wheel, let's write connect with others. Okay, so if you've just joined us, I'm going to explain this again really quickly, okay? And if you guys have a pen and paper, I'd love for you to draw a wagon wheel with 12 spokes. We're putting our 12 pathways to better brain health into these sections of our wagon wheel. And we're going to go over what this means in just a little bit. So if you're just joining us, I want you to make sure that you draw one of these if you can. And we've had healthy diet, sleep hygiene, being active, and connecting with others so far, okay? So these first four pathways seem to cover some of the basics of survival, right? Food, sleep, socialization, and activity. The next set begins to get more specific regarding behaviors and may take additional effort to adopt, okay? But the benefits are going to far outweigh the effort you have to spend. So the fifth pathway is effective communication and self-advocacy. Another way to express this is that you need the ability to be able to express what you want or what you need to be able to share that with your friends and your family and your loved ones and the people at your office, okay? For example, if your medication is keeping you up and down, up and down, up and down all the time, or maybe you are getting up to use the restroom 2 or 3 or 4 times a night, you need to be able to talk to your doctor about that and tell them why this is such an issue. And maybe they might be able to propose a change in medication or a different medication or a change in the time that you take it, okay? Also, you could ask your family for assistance in tackling that little stack of Medicare paperwork that's sitting on your desk that you haven't tackled yet because it seems overwhelming. You need to be able to ask for what you want or ask for what you need, okay? Also, become an active listener. Listening is the other part of effective communication. So to be a good communicator, we have to be able to express what we want and need and be able to listen to the other party. Listening is the other part. So we're going to add effective communication to the wagon wheel. Long words for my wagon wheel. All right. So the sixth pathway is a little bit more challenging. We're going to talk about managing emotions. Whether we want to recognize them or not, we experience emotions every single day. Being mindful of our emotions and how to cope with those emotions and express them in a healthy way, those are critical steps in having a healthy brain and a healthy mind. We're going to cover a few different coping skills in just a second. So for now, I just want to add manage emotions to this because we're going to come back to it, okay? So manage emotions. The seventh pathway can be both nerve-wracking and fun at the same time. Exercise your memory and continue to learn. Actually, if you're watching this, you're doing this already. You're here to learn something new, and learning something new is great for your brain health. Maybe you could create photo albums or have a friend or a loved one teach you how to play a new game. Try it with your kids or your grandkids at a family gathering this holiday season. Learn something new. If you just play Sudoku every single day, your brain's not learning anything new, so learn something new. It can increase your synapse and keep your brain growing and active. So I'm going to add continue to learn to our wheel, and because I don't want to write upside down, I'm going to switch directions here. Continue to learn. All right. Pathway number 8 is positive self-talk. Your mind is so powerful. A lot of people don't realize how powerful your mind is. Be kind to yourself. You can create a physical reaction to your thoughts, okay? So recognize your strengths and practice not allowing negative things to be said by you or by someone else about yourself, okay? Practice not allowing negative things to be said about you, whether it's coming from someone else or coming from yourself. This is especially important when you're looking in the mirror first thing in the morning. If you start your day on a negative note by looking in the mirror and talking about how your hair's a big mess or how, that $60 wrinkle cream isn't doing much for you or any of that, you're starting your day on a negative note, and you really have to build up to get your day back up here where you really could have started up here. Practice, find a way to start your day on a positive note, okay? Positive self-talk is really, really important. So I'm going to put positive self-talk in our wheel. All right. Pathway number 9 is expressing gratitude, whether verbally or written. I like to practice this when I'm in line at a gas station or a grocery store, and you can tell the line is long and the employee is just having some difficulty maybe getting somebody through their transaction, and everybody gets frustrated, and we've all got places to go and things to do, and that employee is just having a hard time. So what I'll do is I'll say loud enough for people to hear me, which is never really a problem for me, loud enough for people to hear, including the employee. I'll say, wow, this job would be such a challenge. I'm so thankful that their employees are so patient and staying positive, working under this pressure, especially during the holiday season. If that was my son or my daughter, I'd be so proud of their patience. Once those words land on the ears of people around you, you can see their body language become more relaxed. You can see everybody calm down, realize it's not as big of a deal as they were making it out to be, and the employee usually appreciates that and smiles too. Everybody wins from just a simple expression of gratitude. So think about the last time you expressed gratitude to somebody. Think about the last time somebody expressed gratitude to you and how that made you feel, and when was the last time you were able to share that feeling with someone else. So let's put express gratitude on our wheel. All right. The next pathway is one of my favorites to observe in people. Pathway number 10 is building resilience or adaptability or flexibility. When you become skilled in this pathway, life becomes much, much easier. Once you can learn to go with the flow and be okay with changes that might come up. Think about how flexible or easily adaptable you are when your spouse or your friend is running 15 minutes late for a doctor's appointment or for a family gathering or a holiday party or late for church. For a strong mind, we need to be resilient and adaptable and flexible, okay? We have to be problem solvers. We need to overcome obstacles and stop just pointing them out. Think of options. Don't allow every day to be the same, and don't allow a small kink in your day's agenda to throw your whole day off. Be flexible. People are going to understand. So let's add be flexible to our wheel. All right. Pathway number 11 is one of my favorites, connecting with nature. No matter how mobile or immobile you are, you can take a moment every day to connect with nature. Whether that is opening the window and feeling the breeze on your face, or walking outside and taking a look at the greenery, how green the grass is, how pretty the flowers are, the leaves on a tree, how many different kinds of trees are in your yard. Open a window, feel the breeze on your face. Is the air dry? Is it humid? Is it warm, or can you feel the nip of winter? Notice the different shade of the greens in the lawns around you, like I said. Ignite your 5 senses with nature. It doesn't matter the weather. Go outside and get a breath of fresh air. It will be beneficial and it will rejuvenate you, I promise. So I'm going to add connect with nature up here to our wheel. We are almost filled up. Connect with nature. All right, pathway number 12, the last one. This involves turning our gaze outside our own bubble. When we do something nice for someone else, we set in motion a number of positive actions and reactions. Get to your neighborhood elementary school and offer to read to the kindergarten or first graders. If you can't get out on a regular basis without assistance, offer to make calls to the parents for the PTA or something like that regarding homework or an event coming up at the school. Start a neighborhood watch program or help write advocacy letters for a local effort in your city. You are part of a whole. Do something to show it. So service to others, doing something nice for somebody else, that's going to finish out our wagon wheel. All right, so I really hope you guys have been following along and drawing this on your own wherever you are, because this is going to be really beneficial, okay? Before we move forward, I want to point out that a wheel with 12 healthy, strong spokes is not only going to be able to roll for a long time. It's also going to be able to hold more weight. It's going to withstand small potholes in the road or road hazards that come up. It's going to be a really strong wheel. Your mind is like this wheel, okay? You have to nurture all 12 spokes, okay? What happens when you work really hard on just a few of these spokes and you let the others just go, okay? Think about someone in your life that works really hard on just a few of these things and lets the others go. Let's say you eat a healthy diet and you get good sleep and you're really active all the time, but you're terrible at managing emotions. You're terrible at building a social network. What's going to happen to your wheel when you hit a pothole? What's going to happen to your wheel when something comes up and requires emotion management, okay? And you just have this weak side of your wheel, okay? If you work on your wheel, work on all 12 spokes, your wheel will bear the weight of your life. What about the struggles that inevitably come up? Nurture your wheel, and it's going to serve you well, okay? Next, we're going to go over the 2 most common emotions that people over 60 are dealing with, and both of them are especially relevant to this holiday season. First thing we're going to do is talk about stress. It's important that we go over the definition of stress so that we all kind of start on the same page. So stress is the physical, social, emotional, spiritual response to a real or an imaginary event. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time because I want everybody to get it. Stress is the physical, social, emotional, spiritual response to a real or an imaginary event. Take a minute to process that definition. But before you laugh off that imaginary part, I want to explain. A lot of people get hung up on that word imaginary, but can you be stressed out about something that has not happened? Absolutely. In fact, a lot of stress is caused by something that has not happened, or has not happened yet, or hasn't happened but it might. Okay? Right now that's happening because they're forecasting a little bit of snow tomorrow, and everybody's panicking. Okay? The important thing to remember about stress is that stress is a reaction. It's a symptom caused by something else. So it's important to really get down to the root cause. We're going to talk a little bit about how do you know when you're stressed. Okay, I'm going to cover up the wheel here for just a minute. So here's some of the common answers that we get when we ask people, how do you know when you're stressed? How does your body manifest stress? What are your signs of stress, and how are they different from your spouses or your kids or your grandkids or your brothers and sisters, your friends? Maybe some of your signs are up here. I'll name a few of these, okay? How do you know when you're stressed? Irritability, trouble sleeping, isolation. Maybe you stay home, you don't want to talk to anybody, okay, when you're under a lot of stress. Cry a lot. That's an answer we get a lot, okay? Excessive worry, headaches, loss of that appetite, can't concentrate, racing heart, dizziness. Maybe you eat everything in the house, okay, when you're stressed out, or you nap more. And I want to point something out on this. One of the things that happens when we talk about this in a big group of people is you end up with someone who says, I just want to nap all the time. That's how I know I'm stressed out. I need more sleep. And then we get somebody who says, well, I have trouble sleeping. I can't sleep at all, okay? You get people who manifest stress in opposite ways. Everybody manifests it differently. So you get people who just cry, you know, maybe stay home and cry. And some people are just irritable, all right? They get mad. So people are going to express stress differently, okay? Some people eat everything in the house. And some people can't eat anything, okay? So when we do these, you might look at this board and say, oh, well, that's not me at all. But in fact, everybody's going to stress differently, and that's an important thing to note, an important thing to realize when you talk about stress. You can't manage something until you can identify it. Okay, so think about yourself, think about your life, think about the people in your life and the people you live with or interact with on a daily basis. How do they manifest stress? How do you know when they're stressed out? Not just yourself, and how are those different? Okay, so now that we have an idea of the definition of stress and some ways to identify it, and this is by no means a complete list, okay? Let's look at a few methods for management. Cover this up. How do you manage stress? These are some of the answers that we commonly get in class. How do you manage it? Go for a walk, pray or meditate, talk to your doctor, do something fun, make a list of things I'm grateful for, call a friend, or take a break, you know, go outside. This is really important, okay? And some of these, once again, this is by no means a complete list, okay? But it's a great place to start. And you'll notice that some of these healthy management tools fall into our wagon wheel somewhere, okay? Go for a walk, connecting with nature, being active, okay? If you're going for a walk with somebody, you're expanding your social network as well, okay? Think about the pathways that you are applying, the pathways from your wagon wheel when you're talking about stress management. Calling a friend, that's expanding your social network, okay? Talking to your doctor, effective communication, being able to explain to your doctor the stress that you're under and why, okay? Do something fun, get out, be active. That's a pathway too. Make a list of things I'm grateful for. There's another pathway. Do you guys see? Okay? The healthy stress management methods are going to fall under your wheel, okay? So let's talk about depression. And to be clear, we're talking about the come and go bluesy feelings that we all experience. The kind that comes and stays for a few hours or a few days and then goes away. This is part of the normal up and down of life, okay? It's important to note that if you experience depression that lasts longer than 2 weeks, you need to seek medical attention, okay? Clinical depression is a biological illness and it can be treated. So we're just talking about that come and go stuff, you know, it just comes for a little bit. So let's start by establishing the definition of depression or the blues so that we are all referring to the same issue. The definition of the depression that we're talking about today is prolonged and intense feelings of sadness or hopelessness. So, we've got another chart. This is what depression might look like outside of the dictionary, okay? Outside of the dictionary. This is kind of the same idea that we talked about when I asked, how do you manifest stress? Depression is the same thing. How do you manifest depression? Okay, we're going to do the same thing with this topic. Maybe you don't have any energy. The isolation comes up again, okay? Pain, physical pain, Easily distracted, can't sleep. Maybe you eat more or you eat less. Maybe you sleep a lot, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to take a shower, you don't want to fix your hair, you don't want to put on clean clothes. And maybe you spend too much money. We call that retail therapy. Okay? Maybe you spend too much money. Okay? How do you know when you're depressed? Okay? Think about yourself and your loved ones. How do you know when you're depressed? How do you know when they're depressed? All right? Fatigue or low energy, social withdrawal. These are things that can be signs of depression. Once again, your mind is a powerful tool, and when we're struggling with these things, or any difficult feelings emotionally, our body can show physical symptoms, okay? Maybe you see different signs of depression or the blues in your life, or in the life of someone you love, but just like stress, everyone experiences depression differently, okay? And it's important to note. Just like on the stress poster, some people eat more, some people can't, okay? Some people want to sleep too much, some people sleep not enough. Okay? Depression can manifest itself differently in everybody. So let's talk a little bit about how we manage it. Once you figure out that you're experiencing depression, how do you deal with it? How do you manage the blues? And here's some ideas. Okay? Get active. Choose healthy foods. Put some good fuel in your body. Help you feel better. Do something nice for somebody else. Pathway 12, right? Sometimes when we do something nice for somebody else, we realize that somebody else is in need too, and we aren't alone. Also, it becomes really apparent that we have enough. We have enough love. We have enough energy. We have enough stuff. And we can share that with somebody else. These are some specific ways to help manage the blues, okay? Get active, choose healthy foods, do something nice for somebody else, talk to somebody. It could be your best friend, it could be your spouse, it could be a professional, no judgment, okay? Give it a shot. Talk to your doctor, talk to a counselor, or express gratitude. Start a gratitude journal. Get a little spiral notebook and start writing things down that you're grateful for, and you can come back to that. You can come back and look, here's what I was grateful for on Tuesday. Here's what I was grateful for 3 months ago, and it will really help remind you of those things, okay? These are some ways to help manage your blues. There isn't one method that's a cure-all. Okay, there is no magic bullet, no magic pill. But each pathway on your wagon wheel can help in part with your healing. Remember, if you experience this prolonged sadness for longer than 2 weeks, make sure you talk to your doctor. Seek medical attention immediately. Okay? So I'm going to go back to the wheel. Let's take these down. I'm going to go back to the wheel. If you try to remember to apply the 12 pathways as you find your way through daily activities, they're going to be very helpful in keeping your brain and your mind healthy and sharp. Okay? And I want to go over these one more time. On your wagon wheel with 12 sections, healthy diet, sleep hygiene, be active, connect with others, effective communication, manage emotions, continue to learn new things, positive self-talk, express gratitude, be flexible, connect with nature, and service to others. Okay? If you work on all 12 of these pathways, they're going to keep your wheel strong, especially as you experience the stress and depression that comes and goes as a part of life, or comes and goes as part of this holiday season. Okay? As you move forward and apply these pathways to your life, we find it helpful to make a plan. Okay? Making a plan, I don't know, some people are list makers, some people aren't, but this has been a very powerful tool for me and a lot of people that I know. Decide on a specific and achievable action for this coming week. Okay? Think about something that you want to accomplish in the next 7 days. It needs to be achievable. It needs to be something you can accomplish in 7 days. Don't say, I want to lose 40 pounds, you know? That's not accomplishable in 7 days. Well, it might be, but it won't be easy. Okay? Decide on that specific achievable action. Maybe it's, I want to write a gratitude list. Maybe it's, I want to replace my unhealthy snacks with a piece of fruit. Or maybe I want to drink more water. Okay? Come up with something that you want to do. Maybe you want to go for a walk a couple of times a week. State how much of it you want to accomplish. Okay? There needs to be a measurable amount. So if you say, I want to walk, do you want to walk 30 minutes? Do you want to walk 10 minutes? Do you want to walk down your driveway and back? If you want to drink more water, you know, how much water do you want to drink? Give yourself a goal each day. 64 ounces, 48 ounces, 32 ounces. Come up with something. If you want to replace unhealthy snacks with a piece of fruit, give yourself a measurable goal. How many times this week do you want to do it? 3 times? Maybe 3 unhealthy snacks, replace it with a piece of fruit? Come up with something that's measurable. Give yourself a goal of when you're going to do it. Okay, so if you say I'm going to walk 30 minutes and I'm going to do it 3 times this week, when are you going to do it? You know yourself better than anybody. So if you say, well, I'm going to do it at 5 o'clock in the morning, but you know you're not going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do it, that's unrealistic. So give yourself a realistic goal. I want to do it after lunch, or I want to do it during my lunch break, or I want to do it after dinner, and I'm going to make someone go with me, okay? You can always come up with somebody to participate in your plan with you, but don't rely on them to help you achieve your goal. You want to state a goal that's going to be achievable by yourself, okay? Assign a confidence level to it. So come up with your plan, what you're going to do, how much you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and give yourself a confidence level. Just a quick rating on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you're going to be able to accomplish this in the next 7 days? So if you come up with a plan and you say, well, I'm really only about 50-50 confident, that's not good enough. How can you modify your plan down to create something that's doable, okay? We want you to be at a 7. We really want you to be at a 7, okay? So come up with something that's doable. This planning is broken down into 1-week increments. So you're not setting any long-term goals, but if you have a long-term goal, you can break that down into something doable week by week by week by week, okay? Let's say you want to exercise, you want to start getting fit, you want to join a gym, or you want to find somebody to work out. Those are individual steps, okay? You're not just going to get everything done all at once. So maybe your plan this week would be research exercises that are right for you. Maybe your plan next week is find someone who wants to do it with you. Maybe your plan the following week is find somewhere to do it if you're the kind of person who needs that specific place. You can break those down into individual goals. We certainly hope this information has been helpful. And as we move into this holiday season, I want you to remember that you have more control than you think, okay? The Oklahoma Healthy Aging Initiative offers this workshop in an extended version. I know Maggie mentioned that earlier. And if you're interested in learning more on this topic or any other topic, you can definitely visit our website at www.ohai.org. And we've got lots of great information on there. I hope this has been beneficial.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. That was excellent. So if you did draw a wagon wheel and filled in the wagon wheel, take a look at that right now. If you did not, go ahead and look at your screen and reread the 12 pathways that are in the wagon wheel for just a moment. Think about the holidays that are coming up. They're upon us. We're a week away. If you're setting a goal for this week, and like Kelly was explaining to you, this week incorporates Christmas and some other holidays, religious holidays. So there are plenty of opportunities for you to set a goal that is achievable. But let's look at the wagon wheel and think about all of these different topics towards mental health and how we could, as we approach the holiday season and have this stress and we're trying to reach our goals, how can we take one of these topics and apply them to the stresses that we're going to be having or that we are currently having? For instance, being active. Being active is a crucial part of our mental health and our physical health. This is a great way to reduce stress, like Kelly mentioned, possibly setting the goal for walking for 30 minutes, 3 days a week. Also, how about if you are experiencing stress with the family around and you're having to hustle and bustle and make it to one house or another house, or you need to be cooking for one party and you're still trying to wrap presents for another party, if you can stop just a second and do just a couple of slow laps around your living room. Take a few deep breaths, take a few walks around the living room, and just relax for just a moment. Inhale and exhale all of that stress that you're feeling. you'll calm down, and you'll actually be more present and be able to enjoy the moment that you're in. The positive self-talk is another thing that can be helpful. While you're dealing with the stress and you feel like you're not taking care of all the things that you're needing to take care of in the short amount of time that we have before the holidays are on us, sometimes we'll be saying, why didn't I do this earlier? Or I wish I would have taken care of, this, that, or the other. Instead, look at what you have accomplished. Make a list of the things that you want to accomplish. And have this positive self-talk with yourself. Just appreciate what you have done with all of the things that you have on your plate already. Be appreciative of yourself. Express that gratitude to yourself for the things that you allow yourself to take care of, the accomplishments that you allow yourself to succeed in, and express that to yourself. Then look around the room to the people that are in your family or at your office. If you're feeling frustrated, irritable, having any kind of negative emotion, stop for a second and express gratitude for the things that are positive about that person or that are positive about the experience that you're having. We can shift our focus in little tiny steps with each little spoke. We can just shift our focus, take better care of ourselves, and then enjoy the time that we have. This all together, like Kelli was mentioning, as we strengthen each of these practices, this creates a stronger mind, and it allows us to roll through the stressful situations in our lives with a more positive attitude, a healthier outlook, and this controls the systems in our body, the physical systems in our body as well. So we'll have stronger mental health, we'll enjoy the holidays better. Who wouldn't like to do that, right? And we'll build this healthier lifestyle so that as we roll into the next year, no pun intended, as we roll into the next year, we're ready to take on the